Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list video for July 2024's Polish Pickup. The theme this month, as it typically is in July, is rewind. So what that means is that makers have been invited to bring back a polish from the past. Often it's a fan favorite to sell in the Polish Pickup web shop from July the 5th to the 8th. I've already gone in and I've made a preliminary wish list. I have 14 items right now that are sitting in that wish list. So let's just dive right in and take a look at those 14 items that are catching my eye this month for Polish Pickup Rewind 2024. The first item up is by Atomic Polish, and this one is called Sour Apple Rings. This polish was inspired by the candy Sour Apple Rings. Sour Apple Rings is a yellow-leaning neon green polish. It is loaded with Aurora pigment that shifts from gold to green and is opaque in 1 to 2 coats. Now this is a polish that I remember vividly, and it was released about a year ago, and it was part of the junk food theme. That month for Polish Pickup was absolutely astoundingly creative, and there were so many polishes that didn't make it into my shopping cart, including this polish right here. Now there's so much about this one that appeals to me. First of all, the brilliance of this neon. It really does appear to be this perfect marriage between yellow and green, a really vibrant neon. I also love the fact that there's a bit of Aurora shimmer to add a little bit of something special. Now, the first time this polish came around and I didn't purchase it, it's because there was another neon green that was a very different type of neon green that caught my eye that ended up making it to my cart. But the thing that has always sort of haunted me with this polish is ever since when I've seen people talking about this polish who have purchased it and worn it, they've all talked about the quality of this polish. The fact that this one can be opaque in 1 to 2 coats. Very often yellow polishes take multiple coats. And in fact, yellow or yellow-leaning polishes tend to require more coats than usual. So the fact that this one is a yellow-leaning green polish that can be opaque in just 1 to 2 coats, that really appeals to me as well. And I've heard nothing but incredible things about this polish. So I feel very lucky to get a second chance at this polish. This one is by Atomic Polish Sour Apple Rings. This next polish up is by Bluebird, and this one is called Blast Off. This polish was inspired by the best soda ever, Baja Blast. This polish is a Bluebird Shattered Hollow formula in a pale Baja Blast aquamarine with an effervescent pink to gold shifting shimmer. And there are only 500 of these available this month. So that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on, perhaps making my purchase this month as soon as the shop opens at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on July 5th. So interestingly enough, this one's another polish that was released about a year ago in 2023 in that same junk food themed month. There were so many incredible polishes that were released that month. So in a way, it doesn't really surprise me that so many of them have made their return for this month's Polish Pickup. I'm really not sure why this one didn't end up in my cart the first time around. I love Bluebird lacquer, and I especially love their Shattered Hollow formula. This color as well is one that I'm typically quite drawn to. I love colors like this in the winter. I find that it has kind of an iciness to it. Also, with the warmer shimmer, that pink to gold shifting shimmer, I know I'd be drawn to this one in the spring as well, as kind of a Shattered Hollow pastel kind of look. I've also found that no matter what the color, I enjoy wearing the Shattered Hollow formula a lot throughout the summer months, truly no matter what the base color is. I love the way the hollow plays against the sunlight. I know that I'd get a ton of use out of this polish. This one is by Bluebird, Blast Off. This next one up is by Chameleon Nails, and this one is called Mysterious Uranus, or it also could be Uranus. I'm not sure scientifically what pronunciation they're going with these days, so just pardon my mistake if it's gone one way or the other. This polish is inspired by Uranus and the many mysteries this planet holds. This one is a violet jelly base with a vibrant green to blue shifting shimmer, silver reflective glitters, and tiny silver holographic glitters. There are only 350 of these available. So I guess this means that I'll be shopping on July the 5th, right when the shop opens at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, to make sure that I get this polish in my cart and added to my collection this time around. Now, the reason why I say that is I tried desperately to get a hold of this polish when it first came around this past May with Polish Pickup's space theme. This polish sold out right away. And for me, Fridays are work days and I'm a teacher and I couldn't get to place my order until after work was done. And I just missed out on this polish. So the fact that there's only 350 available this time around, that worries me as well. I'm going to have to make my purchase right away to be sure that I can secure this polish. I just think this one is absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that this one has a bit of a jelly base. I love the colorway of this one. The thing that's really catching my eye as well is that extra sparkle with the added silver holographic glitters, but especially the silver reflective glitters. I love silver reflective glitters, or actually any type of reflective glitter in polish still. I realize that's kind of a polarizing thing for a lot of people, but I love it. I love the way that reflective glitter just catches the light in any type of lighting situation, whether it's indoor or outdoor, in the sun or in lower light. I just love the effect. All things considered, I feel so lucky that this polish is being offered again through Rewind. This polish will absolutely be in my cart when the shop opens, and I just have to purchase fast so I can be sure to acquire it this time. This one is by Camellia Nails, Mysterious Uranus. This next polish up is by Danglefoot, and it's called Tears in Rain. This polish was inspired by the famous speech from Blade Runner by the replicant Roy, which takes place in lots of rain. This one is described as a dusty dark blue with strong burnt red burgundy aubergine shimmer and also fine holographic sparkles. Again, a very small cap with this one, only 250 of these available. In this case, this one's a polish that came out before I even realized that Polish Pickup existed. So this polish, I had to look it up in my nail polish collection app called Lacquergram, just to find out a little bit more about it. Lacquergram tells me that this polish originally came out in June of 2019. I only found out about Polish Pickup in early 2022. So this one came out long before I knew Polish Pickup was a thing. I love everything about the look of this one. The darkness to this dusty dark blue polish, and then that warm shimmer running throughout it, red burgundy aubergine. And I love the idea of the holographic sparkles in this one as well. Something that's also pushing this polish higher and higher up in the ranking on my wish list is the fact that I don't own very many Danglefoot polishes, and the one that I own and I've worn, I absolutely love. I love the hollow quality that they use in their polish, and I'd love to try this one out as well. So this one is by Danglefoot, Tears in Rain. Now this next one up, I'm excited to say, and also I'm embarrassed to say as well, that this one is my front runner this month, my top polish in my wish list. This one is by Dreamland Lacquer, and it's called Shake Your Shamrock. This one is inspired by the bright green seasonal treat that is the Shamrock Shake. This polish is a semi-bleached neon green Crelly base filled with blue shimmer. This polish is absolutely going to be in my shopping cart this month. I couldn't be happier to see it here for Rewind Month. Now, my embarrassment comes in the fact that I actually owned this polish previously. I wore it and I loved it. And the embarrassment comes in where this polish went through the wash. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I wore the polish. I guess I was being pretty careless. I don't know if I just forgot to put it away and I was carrying it around with me in my pocket. But this one went through a load of darks. It took me forever to get this neon green out of my washing machine and also out of my dryer. It wasn't until it went through the dryer that I noticed that this polish had made its way in there. And not only that, I'm reminded of this polish every single time I do yard work. All those items from that load of darks, some dark jeans, a sweatshirt, a couple of t-shirts. Those have now had to be demoted to yard work use. And this gorgeous, stunning neon green with that blue shimmer decorates those yard work jeans and t-shirts. So every time I cut the grass, I'm reminded of how much I regretted sending this through the wash. I am thrilled that I get a second chance at this polish. This polish again was released in that junk food themed month. I actually chose this polish that month instead of Atomic Polish's Sour Apple Rings. And I wore this polish and I absolutely loved it. I am so excited that I get the chance to replace this one in my collection. I get a second chance and I'm going to be much more careful with this polish this time around. It really is a gem. And on me, I have shorter nails. This one was nearly a one coater on me. In fact, I probably could have got away with wearing this one in one coat. This incredible polish that I'm so thrilled to see is back is by Dreamland Lacquer Shake Your Shamrock. This next polish up is by Jen & Berries, and this one is called Raspberry Parade. This polish was inspired by the June 2023 Misheard Lyrics theme, and this polish was inspired by Prince's Raspberry Beret. This polish is a fuchsia to gold to green intensely shifty multichrome with a larger particle fuchsia gold green shimmer and holographic flakes. Again, there's only 400 of these available, so quite a few of these polishes this month have small caps, meaning that once, in this case, 400 are sold, it's considered sold out. Now, all I can think of with this polish for why I didn't purchase it the first time around is I must have been under some serious budgetary constraints. I love everything about this polish as well. First of all, the color. I mean, that sort of warm spectrum rainbow that appears on these nails, and the addition of the holographic flakes for me is just to die for. I love everything about the look of this polish. Also the inspiration. Prince's Raspberry Beret. That song holds such a special place in my heart. I always loved the song, and I always loved Prince, and I was so fortunate to be able to see Prince live in concert a few times before he passed. And there was one time in particular in my hometown that I saw Prince perform, and the showstopper that night was Prince sitting alone in this enormous arena, just him and a microphone and a guitar, and just singing by himself. Raspberry Beret. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was acoustic, it was intimate, it was flawless, and he brought goosebumps to everybody in that arena that night. It was an unforgettable concert moment. And for all these reasons, this one is another one that is very high on my wish list, and I couldn't be happier that this one has come around a second time. This one is by Jen & Berries, Raspberry Parade. This next polish up is by KB Shimmer, and this one is called Wave After Wave. Now there's quite a lengthy description that goes along with this polish, explaining the inspiration a little bit deeper, but I'll jump right in to the description specifically of this polish. Inspired by the Ayvazovsky painting, Wave After Wave starts with a stormy base of gray with subtle lavender tones. A strong coppery red to gold magnetic shimmer is set off by gold flakes, while bits of micro hollow flakes add a hint of sparkle. When used with a magnet, the base's lavender tones and gold flakes really take center stage, or use like a regular polish and let the coppery shimmer shine, best in 2 coats. The first thing that drew me in with this polish was the fact that it was new to me. This is another polish that came out before I realized polish pickup was a thing. And actually, again, looking this polish up, doing a bit of research on Lacquergram, it says that this polish originally came out in April 2019. So that was long before I realized that polish pickup existed. Now, lately, I find myself incredibly drawn to smoky looking polishes. I find that it adds a little bit of a mystery. It tones down what sometimes can be bolder colors. In this case, this is a deeper color, but the smokiness of it, I think, kind of mutes it a little bit and makes it maybe a little bit more versatile and accessible for my life anyway. It adds a bit of a mystery that I'm really drawn to. The other thing is this coppery shimmer, and I love the magnetic effect. In fact, I didn't even really realize at first when I saw the swatch photos for this polish that this one was a magnetic. I love the versatility of this one. I love that you can wear it without the magnetic effect, and then with the magnetic effect, it just gives it a completely different look. I do agree that the flakies seem to appear a little bit bolder with the magnetic effect. I really do love everything about the look of this one. This one is by KB Shimmer, Wave After Wave. This next polish up is by Linby Designs, and this one is called Frosted Light. This polish is inspired by light glinting off freshly fallen snow, and it's described as sheer but buildable pale cornflower blue base with aqua to blue to purple shifting shimmer. Now this one I know would be a very safe bet for me. I'd love wearing it throughout the winter, also in the spring because it's a lighter colorway, also perhaps in the summer. There's something about this one that reminds me of just the most perfect blue skies as well. Every time I look at this one, it's the shimmer that catches my eye. I find that the shimmer in every swatch photo I see looks absolutely breathtaking. This one also appears to look beautiful on a multitude of different skin tones, and it also, in several different swatch photos, it looks like it changes its identity quite a bit as well. It looks muted in some cases, electric in others, appearing almost more aqua or more grayed out. This one really looks like an interesting chameleon of a polish, but I will have to see how this one stacks up among other polishes I have already in my collection. I think this one would be very unique, but it is a type of colorway, this sort of grayed out blue with a strong shimmer. This kind of a look is one that I've been drawn to for quite a while, so I'll have to make sure that I don't have anything too close to it in my collection already. But this one really is breathtakingly beautiful. This one is by Linby Designs, Frosted Light. This next polish up is by Nailed It, and this one is called Gloss Boss. This polish is inspired by Lip Smacker's lip gloss, and it's described as a vibrant green base with a pink to gold shifting shimmer, red to gold aurora, and a touch of hollow. And there's only 300 of these available. Again, I'm going to have to make sure I make it to the shop right when it opens on July the 5th at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, which is my time zone. Now, first of all, I love greens. Green is one of my favorite colors in life. I've been really growing my green polish collection whenever I see one that catches my eye. And this right there is a strong reason for why this one's in my wish list. This one's another polish that was released before I knew about Polish Pickup. Again, my very handy app Lacquergram tells me that this polish was originally released back in April of 2021 with the 90s inspired theme. I love the fact that Lip Smackers is the inspiration for this one. It brings back all kinds of vivid kind of high school, also like grade 7, grade 8 memories. Going into drugstores and taking a look at the racks upon racks of Lip Smackers lip glosses and just all the different kind of flavors and colors and scents, and then just choosing that one special one with friends. I can vividly remember that experience, and also having no money whatsoever. It was always such a treat to be able to go and purchase one, and I can just remember it was always such a huge decision picking just the right flavor. So for all these nostalgic reasons, plus my love of green, I love the fact that this one is kind of a spring-leaning green with that warm shimmer. I know that this one would be a standout in my collection. And also it tugs a little bit at my heartstrings with the nostalgia factor. This one is by Nailed It, and it's called Gloss Boss. This next one up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and it's called Jalapeno Face. This one is inspired by jalapeno flavored snacks. This polish is a blackened purple with vibrant multi-chrome shimmer that shifts bright green, cyan, cobalt, violet. Now I have to say, this is another one that came from that junk food themed month, which I believe was May of 2023. I can't get over how many of those polishes have appeared back in this Polish Pickup Rewind. But then again, I can believe it. That month was so creative, and it's amazing how many polishes I had to skip out on that month. For budgetary reasons, you just can't own them all. So it's really exciting to me that so many of them have come back and I have the chance to purchase them this second time around. I love everything about this multi-chrome. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think this one would be a real standout in my collection. The fact that it's this blackened purple base, I can really see that actually in the upper right swatch photo, that deep, almost black purple base. And that shimmer, it looks absolutely dazzling, this shimmer. I would love to see this one on my nails in person. This incredible polish is by Night Owl Lacquer Jalapeno Face. This next one up is by Paint It Pretty Polish, 1 Foot in the Ground. This polish is inspired by graveyards. It was originally released in September 2023 for the Haunted History theme. 1 Foot in the Ground is a deep, that's a bit of a typo there, it's a deep purple base with a bronze shimmer and hollow microflakes. There's only 350 of these available. Now this one's an interesting one for me. Again, the September monthly offerings for Polish Pickup also annually tend to be really strong months. All those September months, it tends to be the Halloween releases, and makers do go all out no matter what spooky theme they're going with. In a way, it doesn't surprise me that this one didn't quite make the cut. I'm sure that there were so many that caught my eye. I mean, it's always tough. You can't buy them all. This one is very much catching my eye this time around. There's something about that bronze shimmer that I absolutely love. I can see myself drawn to this one throughout the fall months. It would actually be a really perfect time for me to purchase this one heading into those months and putting this one on my fall rack right away. I love the brand Paint It Pretty Polish. I find them actually quite underrated. They're a local brand to me. I'm a Canadian and they're from my home province of Ontario. I love the way that they make any kind of polish, but in particular, their shimmers are just out of this world beautiful. I know that I'd love this polish, and I'm so glad that I'm getting a second chance at it. This one is by Paint It Pretty Polish, 1 Foot in the Ground. This next polish up is by Psych Minerals, and this one is called Ghastly Smell. Now I'm going to give the pronunciation of this a go. The Latin genus and species here, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to give it a go. So this one is inspired by Dranunculus vulgaris, aka Dragon Lily, and this was previously released in January 2024. Ghastly Smell is a raspberry jelly base loaded with pink reflective glitter and iridescent blue flakes, and is inspired by the noxious Dranunculus vulgaris, aka Dragon Lily. This species of flower is known for their notorious smell. Now for this polish as well, there's only 275 of these available. That was an important number for me to keep an eye on too, because much like the Chameleon Nails offering, this is one that I just missed out on when it was first offered. Again, I was at work when the shop opened, and unfortunately I could not make my purchase fast enough to get a hold of this polish. So that's 2 that are being offered this month that I lost out on because I just wasn't quick enough. Now I'm absolutely in love with this raspberry type color. I know that it would be highly unique in my collection, and the sparkle and the depth to this one as well. As I said before, I love the reflective glitter component in polishes. This one looks dazzling, and the addition of these iridescent blue flakes, they look kind of ghostly within this, and I'm really loving this look in the swatch photos. I could only imagine how spectacular this one might look in person. I think this one would be a showstopper. Also, I've got to say, I find this name utterly hilarious, Ghastly Smell, to go along with a polish that's this spectacular. I think it's such a great juxtaposition there. So this one is a very high front runner on my wish list. This one is by Psych Minerals, Ghastly Smell. This one's another polish that I feel so fortunate to see in Polish Pickup Rewind this month. This one is by Stella Chroma. Corporate magazines still suck. This polish was inspired by Rolling Stone's April 1992 cover, specifically Kurt Cobain. This polish was from April 2021's 90s nostalgia theme. It says here, I am bringing back Corporate Magazines Still Suck, inspired by Rolling Stone magazine's iconic April 1992 cover with Nirvana. That band spoke to the SC, Stella Chroma, middle school soul, and Kurt Cobain's suicide was the first that really shocked our world. This vibrant green shade has gold shimmer and hollow flake, as well as red, yellow shifting flakes. Now again, there's so much about this polish that just brings me back. Now first of all, this was a polish that was first released back in April 2021, so that was before I knew about Polish Pickup. So right there, I feel very lucky that this one is being offered again this month. Also, I have to give an absolutely enormous shout out to Polish with Ray for bringing this to my attention on multiple occasions. I know that this one was a favorite polish of hers, and I've heard about it really since I found out about indie polish, but I never really knew where it came from. I didn't really think to look it up to know that it was a limited edition Polish Pickup release. I just knew that I couldn't find it anywhere. So I've been kind of keeping an eye out for this polish in D-stashes and things like that, but it's never come up. I feel incredibly lucky to have the opportunity to purchase this one this month. This one goes along so well with my love of green. I know that I'll enjoy this polish. That's actually kind of an incredibly safe purchase for me in that sense, and I love the flakes that go along with this one too. But not only that, this one also really tugs at my heartstrings. This brings back a ton of high school memories for me. Nirvana was enormous and a huge part of my high school experience, and I can also vividly remember when everybody found out that he had unfortunately passed. I can kind of remember exactly where I was at school when I heard that news for the first time. And yeah, it just brings back all kinds of incredible high school memories, both positive, and then in the case of Kurt Cobain's death, not so happy as well. But yeah, I love everything about this polish. It tugs at my heartstrings, and I feel so fortunate that Stella Chroma has chosen this polish to bring back this month. This polish is by Stella Chroma. Corporate magazines still suck. This final polish in my 14-item wish list is by Wildflower Lacquer, and this one is called The Sky Has Finally Opened, and this one is a 2.0 offering. This polish was inspired by Casey Musgrave's Rainbow. This polish is a smoky lilac base with coppery red to gold to green shifting shimmer and a scattered hollow. It says this is a bit darker than the original, and it also adds here that like the first time this polish was launched, I will be donating $1 of every bottle sold to the Trevor Project. I have to say that always makes me happy too when there's a charity component involved through Polish Pickup. Now again, there's all kinds of reasons why this one was added to my wish list. First of all, this is another new to me polish. This one came out originally in June of 2021 for the Over the Rainbow theme. So right there, I was really excited to see this one with fresh eyes. It is new to me. This one is a new to me polish, and it really caught my attention when I saw it. As I said before for some previous offerings, the smokiness of this one really caught my attention too. I find myself highly drawn to these smoky looking polishes. I find that it adds a mystery and also an elegance to whatever the polish base is. The addition of the scattered hollow here as well also adds that unexpected sparkle and interesting juxtaposition to me against a smoky base. Also, this one makes me think of my mom quite a bit. Casey Musgrave's Rainbow is a song that she's really been drawn to lately, and I like it too. And it really, anytime I hear the song these days, I think about my mom, and that's always a great thing as well. So this one is by Wildflower Lacquer. The Sky Has Finally Opened. So that's it from the 14 items on my preliminary wish list through the Polish Pickup website. Now there is a little bit of a complicating factor here for Polish Pickup Rewind, and it's that idea that there's also this additional layer of offerings through Polish Pickup Rewind where makers are not only bringing back an offering through this web shop, but they're also invited to bring back an offering to either their own web shop or through stockists, or also perhaps bringing the offering along with them to Polish and Beauty Expo, which is happening in mid-July this year. So right on the homepage of Polish Pickup this month, there is this article called July Rewind 2024, What's Coming Back? And there's a check it out button that leads you to this blog article that goes through many of the offerings that are going to be released this month. Now, I am a Canadian, so this idea of purchasing directly from the makers themselves can be a bit of a difficult one for me considering international shipping. But there are a couple of Canadian vendors here, and that makes it easier for me to purchase directly from them. Also, I'm quite lucky that I have access to 3 Canadian stockists as well. Harlow & Co., Gracie J & Co., and also nailstuff.ca that allow me as a Canadian to shop domestically for some of these items that are otherwise international purchases. What I'll do is I'll quickly go through a couple of the items through this Polish Pickup Rewind kind of after party offering that are catching my eye. Now, after party isn't my word. I have to credit Girly Bits Cosmetics and now Gracie J & Co. that's taken over the stockist responsibility from Girly Bits Cosmetics for that moniker of after party. So that's kind of how I term this additional layer of shopping for Polish Pickup Rewind month. The first one that's catching my eye here is Alchemy Lacquer's Stiff as a Board. This one was originally released back in March of 2024 for the Slumber Party theme. This one is available for the entire month of July from Alchemy Lacquer's website directly, or also if you're lucky enough to be attending Polish and Beauty Expo, they will have it at their booth there. I just love the kind of grayed out, dusty nature to this electric blue. I think it's a real stunner, and I would love to be able to get my hands on it. It would also be my first time purchasing directly from Alchemy Lacquers, so that's kind of an interesting added layer for me as well. Along those same lines, a very similar look here. This one is by All Mixed Up Lacquers, and this one is called Nightmare Wrapped in a Daydream. And this one was originally released back in August of 2023 for the Dreamscapes theme. This polish will be available for the month of July from All Mixed Up Lacquers shop. And again, I have never purchased directly from All Mixed Up Lacquers either, so that's kind of an appealing thing to me as well. This next one is by Beau Rev Lacquer, and this one is called Fawning Over You. And this one was originally released in February 2024, and the theme that month was wild animals. This one is available for the entire month of July, and some of the places where it is available include Beau Rev Lacquer's web shop, Polish and Beauty Expo as well, and I'm very happy to see for my sake that it's available at Gracie J & Co., which is one of my local Canadian stockists. This next one is by Cleona Cosmetics, and this one is called Salt Watermelon Taffy. This one was also originally released in that junk food themed month, May 2023. And this one is available for the month of July from Cleona Cosmetics web shop, but I've also heard rumors that this one may be making an appearance through Gracie J & Co., a Canadian stockist, so I'll keep an eye out for that. The wonderful thing about Cleona Cosmetics, though, is it is a Canadian company, so for me, this one would be a domestic purchase, which is always welcome. I just think this one is a really beautiful minty green color, and unfortunately I passed this one up last time because it was part of that incredible month, the junk food month, back in May 2023. I must have had about 20 items on my wish list that month, and of course I could not have purchased all of them. This next moody polish is called Turn to Stone, and this one is by Danglefoot Polish. This one was originally released in January 2023 as part of the Greek mythology theme, and this one is available through Danglefoot Nail Polish, but I've also heard that this one will be available through select stockists, one of those being nailstuff.ca, which is another Canadian stockist, making it much easier for me to pick this one up, considering domestic shopping for me. I just love the blackened green look to this one. I love greens, as I've said before, and the fact that this one is a really sparkly looking deep blackened green really appeals. This next one up is quite an interesting looking one as well. This one is by Emily Damali and it's called Beneath the Surface. This one was originally released back in September 2023 for the Haunted History theme. And this one will be available for the entire month of July through Emily Damali's shops, both the US shop and the international shop, and through select stockists. So I'm keeping fingers crossed that this one might be available for me through Gracie J & Co. I just love that sort of prugly, murky look. It actually looks like kind of an olive green base with this teal turquoise shimmer. It looks like a really interesting one that would be really intriguing in person. This really delicate polish is quite a standout compared to some of the more dramatic ones that have been making my wish list. But this one is by one of my favorite makers, Great Lakes Lacquer, and this one is called The Greatest Gift and Honor. And this one was originally released in February 2020 as part of the Flora and Fauna theme. So this one as well is a new to me polish. And this one is available through the Great Lakes Lacquer shop. This next one that's catching my eye is by KB Shimmer, and this one is called Rise Up. And this one, it says, was originally released back in October 2021, so before I knew about Polish Pickups. This one is new to me for the Monsters and Mythical Creatures theme. This one is available through the month of July through the KB Shimmer shop, as well as at Polish and Beauty Expo. Also, I may have heard some rumblings that this one may be available through one of my local stockists, Harlow & Co., that typically carries KB Shimmer products. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that for sure. But I love those flakes in this one. I think I would get incredible use out of this one in both the fall and the winter. This one looks to me like turning fall leaves, but also burning embers as well. So this one I could see myself wearing throughout the fall and winter. This next one catching my eye, I can vividly remember passing this one up and very much regretting it the moment the shop closed. This one is by Polish for Days, and this one is called Barbie on the Boardwalk. And this one was originally released in June 2023 as part of the Misheard Song Lyrics theme. This one's going to be available through kind of an intricate time window here. This one's available from July the 5th until July the 19th from the Polish for Days shop. And I'll also be keeping an eye out for Harlow & Co. to see if they might be offering it. They typically do stock Polish for Days products for the Canadian market as well as for the international market as well. I can vividly remember not adding this one to my cart, thinking that I was just jumping on to sort of the Barbie trend from last year. I so regretted the moment the shop closed not adding this one to my cart. I just think that, I love Polish for Days quality and that shimmer that goes along with this Barbie pink. Anyway, I've never been able to get this one out of my mind. And this offering is from Rogue Lacquer. This one's called The Sky is Falling. And this one was originally released back in December 2020 for the theme Everything is Fine. This one, I'm sure, would have been a very welcome treat for the eyes. Back at that time, I can vividly remember December 2020 being a really difficult time for me and my family, as well as many of our loved ones, just considering everything going on with a worldwide pandemic at that time. Now, this one is going to be made available through the Rogue Lacquer shop. The dates aren't listed here, so I'll have to keep an eye on that, but I'll also keep an eye out for its availability through stockists as well. This one just looks like such a cheerful, crelly, really unique addition to my collection if I'm able to get a hold of this one. And this final one in the after party shop here that's catching my eye is by Wildflower Lacquer, and this one is called Gerald Can Have All My Coins. And the original release date for this one was October 2021, so another new to me polish. And this one was offered through the Monsters and Mythical Creatures theme. And this one will be available just for a very small availability window through Wildflower Lacquer's shop directly from July the 5th until July the 12th. This one just looks like another really great looking green that I could add to my collection. I know that I'd love this one as well. So for this Rewind month, there is far too much that is catching my eye. I am giving myself a little bit of leeway, allowing myself to purchase maybe slightly more than I typically would because I'm not attending Polish and Beauty Expo, unfortunately. For those of you who are attending Polish and Beauty Expo this year, I wish you happy shopping and I wish I could be there with you. So that's it for my wish list. I'm curious, are you shopping Polish Pickup this month? What's catching your eye? Also, I'd love your thoughts on my wish list. You can give me some help narrowing down my 14 items from my wish list. And perhaps most of all, I'm really curious to know if you already own any of these polishes. What are your thoughts on them? Do you have any favorites that are being offered this month through Polish Pickup Rewind? Please add all your thoughts and all your comments down below. We can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy wish listing videos, in particular Polish Pickup wish list videos, please consider giving this video a like. It indicates to me that this is the kind of content that you enjoy watching, and I'll be sure to produce content similar to this moving forward. As well, if you enjoy watching nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I try my best to release polish-related content as often as I possibly can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for watching. Happy shopping this month. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.